chemistry is related to physics, physics is related to mathematics, then mathematics. So we shall find that all the science subjects are related. So don't be surprised that what you found in math or what you found in biology, it is also here in chemistry. You shouldn't get surprised or shocked. So before we kick off, I want to request that we have our books nearby, or you get somewhere to write, because later on we shall have something to do. We shall have some experience. So the main objective for this session is to let you know what we are dealing with. What is chemistry? We are having a new curriculum basically for this senior one. So I want us to share and we see how it is done nowadays than before. We have some changes in our syllabus, especially with assessment, even what you are supposed to be taught and all that. In other words, everything has been made easier. Before we used to hear from only teachers throughout for 120 minutes, you are listening to the teacher. He's the one talking, is the one who knows. So it has been made so beautiful that nowadays, even us, the teachers, can learn from our learners. We share experiences. So me as the teacher, I just come in maybe to harmonize or maybe to correct you where you have gone astray. And also the good thing with this curriculum, it is hard. It's really hard. It is really hard for someone to come and sit for an exam and get a 0. I'm requesting people to mute your microphones. Okay, thank you. So I was saying that it's also hard for someone to come and sit for an exam and then, get a 0. In this curriculum, it is very hard. It is very hard, and that's the good part of it. As long as you sit for an exam, at least you expect to get at least 1 mark. So we shall look at how we are going to be assessed when we go to senior 1. Some of us are already in senior 1, some of us are joining. Even some of us, maybe we are in senior 2, but you want to know what takes place in the lower classes for our brothers and sisters. So I will come on to this session of chemistry. And once again, my name is Teacher Mugumya Oswald. I hope we shall learn from each other as time goes on. Once again, I remind you to get where to write so that we can have a smooth running of this session. We also thank the organizers of this project. Thank you so much for planning this for the betterment of our learners and our country at large. Okay, so let's start. Objectives. What are we supposed to look at in this session? 1, we shall need to know about the course, that is about chemistry. Then secondly, we have to describe what we call the description, what really takes place in chemistry. So here we have the summary. We are not going to look at everything, but just the summary. Then thirdly, why do we study chemistry? Why should I go to class to study chemistry? Or why should I put in much time? Why should I pay fees to go to school to study chemistry? We shall also share the experiences there. And then another one, we shall look at the syllabus coverage. What do we need to cover? We shall do that like in 1 minute. What do we need to cover in chemistry? Then expectations. What are we expected to do as learners? What am I expected to do as a teacher? What are your parents expected to do? So we shall share those things or those items under expectations. Then we shall also look at the assessment of chemistry. How do we assess? How do our exams or assignments or exercises, how do they look like? So we shall also look at that. So from there, let's look at what is about this course. What is about this course? Once again, I want to request people, in case you are coming in, make sure you mute yourself so that you don't disorganize the rest who came in early. So the likes of Jonan, please mute your microphone. Thank you. So what is about chemistry? So we can say that chemistry is concerned with the physical and chemical properties of substances and the interaction of energy and matter. So we are looking at, in chemistry, basically we look at the physical and chemical properties. What do I mean by physical properties? Physical properties, this is where we look at the things outside. For example, if we look at the color of your skin, if you look at maybe the texture of wood, or you look at anything where you need to use your naked eyes without applying any machine. Like for example, you can look at your skin and you say, maybe I'm brown, maybe I'm dark skinned, like that. You can look at something and you tell its texture by touching it. You can say maybe it has a rough surface or it had a smooth surface. So that is what we call physical properties of substances. Then the chemical is how they are run. For example, what takes place when I'm boiling water? What takes place when I'm cooking food? What takes place when I'm burning charcoal in the charcoal stove? So those are the chemical properties. Normally, for the chemical properties, we don't see them with our eyes. We normally see the final product, just like how you see charcoal burning until when the charcoal forms the ash. Then learning chemistry will help you explain and predict events at the atomic and molecular level. In this case, talking about the events or at the atomic level, we can say the smallest level, because we shall find that an atom is the smallest unit. So we can say atomic, it is saying things or predicting things or explaining things at the lowest level. Then molecular, when we have a combination of many atoms, we get what we call a molecule. In other words, a molecule is bigger. We can say a molecule is a collection. A molecule is the collection of, I hope what I'm going to do, I'm going to mute all of you so that I can stop these interruptions. So you're going to forgive me. I will just mute you for a second so that when you come in, you're quiet. But later on, I will unmute all of you. So like I said, atoms, they are small, molecules are bigger. So we get many atoms, we combine them, then we get a molecule. So explaining the molecule, it is something bigger, then the atom is something smaller. But don't worry, we shall have a full topic on that. We shall have a full topic on that. Okay. So that is about the course. Then the description, what is really inside the chemistry? This course, we say, tries to bring out how the study of chemistry involves an investigation into chemical reactions and processes. So we want to see how things take place. For example, how do we make alcohol? What process do we go through? What is done when we are making alcohol? How do we carry out? How do, let's say, organic matter decompose? Like the rubbish you get from the house, how does it decompose? And when it decomposes, what happens? What are the final products when they decompose? How do we make medicine? The tablets we take, and many things. So that is what we can say. And again, chemistry has got many branches. It is divided into 5 more branches. But at secondary level, we look at 3 branches. So at secondary level, we look at organic chemistry. We look at inorganic chemistry, and we also look at physical chemistry. Then when we go higher with chemistry, that is at the university or higher institutions of learning, we also look at biochemistry and analytical chemistry. In other words, chemistry is divided into 5 branches or 5 parts: organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, biochemistry, physical chemistry, and analytical chemistry. But we shall look at this in parts. As time goes on, from senior 1, we shall look at maybe inorganic chemistry, then senior 2, like that. So if they ask you the basic branches of chemistry, those are the ones we have on the screen. And as time goes on, we shall have the details of each branch. Basically, for example, for physical chemistry, it is done at A level. Physical chemistry and part of organic chemistry, they are done at A level, that is advanced level. Then inorganic is what we normally do at O level, that is organic. Jeremiah, I've seen your message, but I will go back later. I'll go back later. Sorry about that. So let's continue. Let's continue. Let's look at the syllabus. What do we need to cover? What is in our coverage? So I will have a list, but a short list, a brief list about what we need to cover. So first of all, you have to make sure that you have the syllabus with you all the time, especially the student's guide. So the best thing about this new curriculum for senior 1 or for secondary or for lower secondary, each student is supposed to be having a student's guide. A student's guide contains what you're supposed to cover in accordance with what the teacher has. So for me, I will have my teacher's guide. Then for you, have the student's guide, or what we can call learner's guide. These books are available on the website of senior1.org and also on the website of NCDC. I have provided links below. So you make sure that you have one. Then the content in senior 1 is much similar to the work you have been doing in your primary level. In other words, there is no big difference, only that what changes, they are the words. What changes, they are the words. That is what changes. But the content almost remains the same. So here we get more details. Here we get more details. Yes, Jovia, I said I will provide the link. Yeah, someone has sent in the link. Okay, thank you, Mr. Isaac. And then again, like I said, these are the links. You can download the books or the learner's guides from senior1.org, or you can go to www.ncdc.go.ug. So you can go to one of these websites, then you're able to get the learner's guide. And as a student, you need a learner's guide. As a student, you need a learner's guide. So there is no need of you now downloading the teacher's guide because it's for the teacher. Because once you go to the website, you find that all the books are available. But for you as a student or as a learner, make sure you get the learner's guide. Once again, in the learner's guide, we'll be having a list of topics or chapters that you'll be covering in a specific term. Let's say term 1, you see the topics or the chapters supposed to cover, so that when the teacher is on the board trying to explain a few things, you are also following. Maybe where the teacher wants some support or some help, then you can be able to help. Not like those days whereby it was always the teacher with a textbook, which was also hard. In that the textbook was only understood by the teacher because it was meant for the teacher. But this time around, we have the learner's guide, which was written in the simplest language so that everyone can understand. We have there words and also pictures. At least if you can't read very well, you can look at the picture and you get to know what was going on in that particular event. Okay, so that is how the book looks like. That's the book cover. So in case you go to the website, one of the websites, then you find that other books, you find there are many books, of course, for biology, chemistry, physics, many books for other subjects at all level. So ours is this one. That's the book cover. You see the chemistry book there. So that is the book cover. So you look for that. Make sure when you check there, you look for that, so that you don't download irrelevant books. As long as you follow the procedures or you got the right website, and make sure in case where you get lost, you can as well get back to us. Then we can also be able to send you a copy. We can download it for you. Maybe give us your WhatsApp number or anything where you can deliver it. And it is always better. It is always better that you print it out so that you have a hard copy. The link has been sent in the chat, so you can check it out. Make sure you always have a hard copy. After downloading it, you can go and print it out so that you can have your copy. In case you don't have your phone, your computer, your tablet, you can easily access your content, other than depending on these phones, because at times the technology can disappoint. Your phone can be working today, but when you have a lesson, the phone is not working. Those things happen with technology. Let's move on. So that is the book cover, and here we have the summary of our chapters. So we have chapter 1, which is about chemistry and society. I hope most of you, before you broke off, before you went into the first holiday, you had looked at chemistry and society. But then chapter 2, we look at experimental chemistry. Chapter 3, we look at tests of materials. Then chapter 5, temporary and permanent changes to materials. Chapter 6, mixtures, elements, compound, mixture, and so on. So here I just have a summary, but they have these chapters have sub chapters or subtopics, which are very many. So if you check, if you happen to have the learner's guide, you have a list. You will have the list of those. You have a list of those topics. So make sure you have the learner's guide.
Okay, students, you're listening to the voice of Oswald Isaac. It seems we have lost our teacher. Let's try to wait for him for a moment. Teacher Drusilla? Teacher Drusilla?
Yes, Mr. Oswald.
Maybe you try to inform him that is off the meeting.
Okay.
Yes. Otherwise, as we wait for the teacher, you can as well check on the chat. Try to check on the chat. I've been providing some links for us. So if you want to go ahead and access the Senior 1 Chemistry Learners Textbook, please, you can go to the NCDC website, or you can still check on senior1.org, and you will be in position to access and download that chemistry textbook. For the students, you need that learner textbook. You don't need the teacher's guide. What you need is the learner textbook. That's why teacher Oswald was telling us that we look for learner textbook. So members, our teacher is back. Teacher Oswald, please, you can take over.
Okay, thank you. I'm requesting that you also make me the host on a second device, so that in case I go off here, you can use the other device. Thank you. So here I was explaining, I was talking about our chapters that we share, that we look at in senior 1. This one, the summary we are having, this is for term 1. Very soon we shall have for term 2, then term 3. In that is how the curriculum is. We no longer have those things of teaching senior 2 work in senior 1, like what some schools do. That work which was supposed to be taught in senior 1, now it is taught maybe in senior 3. So that one is no longer there. So we shall be doing things that way. And if you are serious, if you are a serious learner, chemistry has been made easier than before. So we don't expect those excuses or people saying that chemistry, science is hard. No, those ones are no longer there, because now we are dealing with a real life experience. If I talk about, for example, mixtures, all of us know mixtures. All of us have ever made, made tea. You get your water, add the tea leaves and salt, and rather sugar. And when you do that, you can easily separate the two. You can separate the tea leaves from the tea. You can also separate the sugar that you put. So when we get time, we shall have such practicals, which can be done even at home. So we move on. And in case you have any questions, you can just send the question via the chat, so that we don't interrupt others. So here is the sample. Importance of chemistry. Why do we study chemistry? We can see that chemistry is a central science. It touches all aspects of our lives. So this picture literally summarizes what really happens in chemistry. So chemistry is involved in food. Chemistry is involved in cleaners. In cleaners, you can have their detergents, you can have their soap, anything that you use for cleaning. And then energy. How do we get energy from chemistry? For example, in chemistry, we have what we call biogas production. And biogas, I hope all of us have ever heard of it. Biogas is used to produce some energy. It can be heat energy, light energy, and so on. Drugs. Most people, you hear that they are doctors, someone has gone to do surgery and medicine. They deal with drugs. Drugs for animals, medicine for people, pharmacists, all of them, they are full of chemistry. So here we can generate the jobs. In foods, we can find food in foods and nutrition. So you can become someone who is within nutrition. Then drugs, you can become a doctor, you can become a pharmacist. And then metals, here we can tell how metals are made. How are they applied? If I have, for example, steel, how do I apply steel? When do I need to use steel? And so on. Textiles, the clothes that we put on, how are they made of? How do we have them soft? How do we have them flexible? Then we have cosmetics. Most of us here, we use Vaseline. you smear your face. So in chemistry, we learn how vaccines are made, how do they affect our bodies, what are the good things with our cosmetics, and so on. The papers we write on. How do we make, for example, a brown paper to turn into a white paper? Some of us, we like those white papers, but we don't know how they are made white. So in chemistry, we study all that. And why do we have, for example, if you look at newspapers, you can have newspapers today, they are white, and the papers are clear, but after 1 year or 2 years, they turn brown. So in chemistry, we look at why do they turn brown? What causes that? Why don't they remain in the original color? Why do you have to change the color? Then we have health, of course. When you become a doctor, then you can learn how to prescribe medicine to your patients and so on. So from there, that one takes us to the few jobs that we can get. That's the few. There are very many, but we are just looking at a few of them. Elizabeth, you're asking how you can get the links. The links are shared in the chat. The links are shared in the chat. Isaac, you can help maybe share the links again. Elizabeth wants to see the links. Thank you. So here we have a summary of the jobs we get when we study chemistry. First of all, you can become a veterinary doctor. You can become a teacher like me. You can become a cosmetic scientist. You can become a photographer. Maybe people didn't know that in photography you use chemistry. We shall look at that in details. You can become a doctor. You can become a biochemist. You can become a forensic scientist. Have you heard of forensic scientists? Those are the people that may come in when there is a murder. For example, someone has been killed. When someone has been killed, then these forensics, they come and test what really killed the person. Was it a gun? Was it a bullet? Was he stabbed? That is all chemistry. You can become electrical engineer because in chemistry we study about wires, copper wires. So when you are doing electrical engineering, you need to be knowing which wire should I apply when I'm wiring someone's house. And also maybe the gauge and so on. So those are a few jobs that we can have after studying chemistry. Still remember I said there are the few jobs that there are many jobs, there are many things we can do with our chemistry. Then we move on. What is expected of you as a student? First of all, you have to do your research, either with a teacher or without a teacher. In this curriculum, the teacher does not do the big part. It is the student or the learner that does the biggest part. In other words, the teacher can give you like 10% or even introduce a topic or a chapter, then the rest is done by you. The good thing with this curriculum, it is mostly done through discussion groups. You form a few discussion groups, then you discuss with the people or with your colleagues. Okay. As we shall see, we shall test that. How can we be grouped? How can we be grouped in class? Then we have textbooks. First of all, we have also been given the learner's guides. So if you have a learner's guide, it can tell you where to go. Which book can you use if I want to study about matter? Which book can I use? Internet. You can go on the internet and you search. There is YouTube, which shows very many videos. Any video, anything that you want to know. How do I boil water? You find it. You find a video there. How do I make, let's say, alcohol? You find there the video to guide you. Then practicals. Practical is when you go to the lab or any specific place that has all the apparatus or the equipment that are required for that particular experiment that you want to carry out. For example, even at home, you can have your lab. You can have a safe place. You can design your kitchen into a lab, but of course at home you have to carry out simple experiments like how to change ice into water by melting, how to maybe burn charcoal into ash. Those are simple experiments, but those ones which require to produce maybe poisonous gases, you need a designed lab for that. Otherwise, if you do it, then you're likely to suffocate and also die. Or if you have to make explosives, then you need to protect yourself. And those protective gears are always in the laboratories, which are designed for that particular job. Okay, it seems they have some questions here. Okay, members, those who wanted the links to the learners guides or learners books, please, they are shared in our chat, which you can check there. Then you'll be able to get to them. But you can just save the links so that you download them later when we are done here. Then secondly, we focus on the application of chemistry in the surrounding you are in or in your daily life. So here you have to look at how do I apply the knowledge of chemistry that I've got from class or from the internet or from the textbooks that I've read. How is it helpful in my life? It's not a matter of just reading and cramming, no. In this case, we don't cram. Understand the concept, then later on apply it in your daily life. For example, if you look at a chapter, there is a chapter we call materials. We learn about polymers. Those who have been with us or with me, I've taught polymers, but with polymers, it sounds a new word to us if you haven't maybe given it time. Basically, polymer, those are the things that we use daily. The plastics, the glass, the wood, the clothes we put on, the metals, all those are polymers. So after knowing what polymers are, then you can find out how do I apply polymers. That is by using the materials which are made of polymers. If I know a plastic cup is made of a polymer, then how do I use the plastic cup? If I know my cross is made of nylon, how do I use the cross, which is made of nylon? Of course, if it is nylon, it means that it's not likely to be so warm, unlike if it was made of cotton. So there we learn how to apply such after knowing what those words or what those concepts mean. Then, like I said, no cramming. Make sure you understand the concept. So this is science. Remember, we are being trained to become doctors. We are being trained to become doctors. So we need to, to understand these things so that when you become a doctor, you are not able you are not likely to kill a person. Because if you cram, what if you forget and you are in the middle of the surgery? Do you see how you forget and you kill a person or someone? So cramming is not recommended in this curriculum. And everywhere, cramming is a bad thing. Because normally when you cram, you forget very fast. Okay. Once again, I'm reminding people, make sure you get where to write, because there is where we are going. We need to share something small. Because of time, it will be too brief. Let's move on. Assessment in chemistry. We need to look at assessment. We need to look at how are we assessed. How are we assessed? How are we assessed here? How do we assess in chemistry? So we have two ways, just like in other subjects, we have two ways of how we are assessed. One, we have topical assessment. So we need to try this. That is why I was saying that we need a way to write. We shall try this formative assessment. For example, we can have activity of integration, which normally comes after a topic, or we can have those daily exercises or assignments. Then secondly, we have end of O-level assessment, or what we call summative assessment. So this one normally comes at the end of the course, at the end of O-level. That's why we are calling it summative. So we sum up all the assessments you've done before, and then we come up with one. So we have this sample. We have this sample that I want us to try. I hope all of us can see what is on the screen. Can I have someone read for me what is on the screen?
Sample of activity.
Okay, we have someone. Let me pick someone. There is someone without the name, Galaxy Tab S7 Lite. I request that you can put your name so that I can be able to recognize you. Let's have Peter Odosh. I just want to make sure that whatever in the screen is visible to everyone.
Sample of activities. Look at the materials in the picture and try to classify them according to their properties. Remember that when you are classifying materials, you put them in groups. Each other has a common property. Here are some headings and some of the materials can be hard, soft, flexible, bent, shatter easily, closed, solids, liquids, gases, metals, non-metals, elements, compounds, glasses, wood, metals, plastic, etc.
Okay, thank you, Peter. So I want us to Mr. Drusilla, Madam Drusilla.
Yes, please.
Mr. Isaac.
Yes, please.
I just want someone to help me share. I just want someone to help me share this screen because I want to take them into a short session.
You want us to share?
Someone to take the screenshot of my screen so that we can share on another screen. Or I can ask, if you are there, you can very fast write this question. Whatever is on the screen, very fast, like in 4 or 5 minutes. When we finish, you raise up your hands. We have like 4 minutes to do that.
Teacher Oswald.
We have like 4 minutes to do that. Yes, please.
You can copy also. You can copy that text and paste for them in the chat.
I can. Hello.
Yes, you can as well copy the question, copy and paste that question that you have displayed for us you paste it in the chat so that they can access.
Meaning I have to first stop sharing.
Let's first wait for them to copy. We give them those 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, then we can copy and send to them as well in the chat.
Okay.
Teacher Oswald? Teacher Oswald, you have someone?
I'm working on that.
Yeah, someone also has a hand up. Please, you can tell us, you can ask your question.
Yeah, I'm working.
Yes, Jovia, I see your hand up. Jovia, your hand is up as Mr. Oswald is working on something.
Yes. Okay.
Jovia, we can't hear you.
Sylvia, you'll try to get a place with some network. Your internet experience is not favoring you. Can't hear you, Jovia. Students, hope we are through with copying.
I hope by now everyone will be through.
Yeah. Yes, I think we can go on, Teacher Oswald.
If you are through, please raise up your hand so that we can know how many are through so far. Okay, thank you. So in this curriculum or in our syllabus, normally we are given questions which are based on the real life. For example, we are saying look at the material, so we have a picture in short. So we also need to look at the picture, which is that. So our question is connected. Our question is connected this picture. So having copied the question, then you can look at the picture. I'm going to share with you the picture in the chat. Or if you are using a phone, you can take a screenshot. Just take a screenshot of the screen. Take a screenshot of the screen.
I don't know.
So right now I'm going to stop sharing. Okay. So what we are going to do right now, please, those who are talking, you mute yourselves.
No.
So I hope everyone has got the picture and as well as the question. So like I said before, under this curriculum, we do much of the work in groups. We do much of our work in groups. So I'm going to group you, I'm going to make like 4 groups, which will be automatically generated. So whichever group you find yourself in, those will be your group members. Once again, each group is supposed to be having a group leader. Each group is supposed to be having a group leader. So we are going to create 4 groups, and each group is supposed to be having a group leader. So I'm going to mention to you the groups. These groups are named as rooms. So for room 1 or group 1, we have Ben. So Ben, wherever you are the group leader of room 1. Then room 2 or group 2, we have Anthony T. Anthony T, are you there? Anthony? Anthony, respond if you are there. Then room 3, we have Mercy, Amara Mercy. Amara Mercy, are you there? Then room 4, we have Elisha. Elisha, are you there? So those are the groups that we have. I hope group leaders we had. Room 1, we have Ben. Room 2, Anthony T. Room 3, we have Amara Mercy. Then room 4, we have Elisha. So all of us, you will see a notification on your screen to join, asking you to join. So what you need to do, just tap on the join. Just tap on the join. And our discussion is going to take about 5 minutes. Okay, let's make them 7. 7 minutes. And in case I want to communicate to you, I will send a message which will pop up on your screen. So group members and the group leader, please make sure you are able to see that message. Okay, so let's go on. We are trying out that question that we copied and the picture. So they are connected. Make sure you look at the picture and the question as well. Within 7 minutes, we should be through. Thank you. So I'm opening the groups right now. I hope we are ready. Hello, people here. Madam Drusilla.
Mr. Oswald.
Yeah, you're going to help me conduct be with them here.
Okay. So which room have you put me in?
You are in room
1.
Room 1. Not room 1. Okay, members here, please. Fausta. Fausta. Fausta, please respond. Members here, please respond. Fausta. Hello, Michael. Michael. Michael Okello. Yes, please. Can you share the question so that you can discuss with your colleagues? So we are now back. We are now back to the main session. We are now back to the main session. I hope some of us have tried to discuss a few things, but the group I was in, it seems people had forgotten what I said.
I don't know.
So members, we are back. We are back.
Yes, we are back.
Okay. Madam Lucy, I need to have my host rights.
Surely.
You made me a student. Okay, members, now we need to discuss. We need to discuss a few things that we have had in our short discussion. So in case you manage to share something, you can share with us here. Yes, Joga.
The glass is under shutter easily.
Okay. Which room was that? Which group was that?
Group Ben.
Group Ben. Okay, thank you.
Room 1.
That was room 1.
Yes.
And then can we hear someone from room 2? Yes, Peter.
From room 3.
Yes, please.
Chairs are under wood.
Chairs are under wood. Thank you. And we need to hear at least one person from each group. Yes, I'm still seeing Odoch. Can we have someone from room 2?
Metals are under hard.
Metals are under hard.
Plastics are
Okay.
easily bent.
Plastics are easily bent, right? Okay, thank you, thank you. Can we have another person, another group? Elisha. Elisha, can you tell us what was in your group? Elisha?
How
about Mercy? Mercy, have you said anything? Mercy, I remember making you a group leader. Have you said anything?
The
Okay.
water in the liquid.
All right. Thank you so much. So as time goes on, we shall learn how to use these groups, how we can be grouped virtually. We shall get to know more about how it is done. I know some of us maybe it could have been the first time and things didn't go well, but next time better. So that is how we shall be doing things with this curriculum, whereby we are grouped, we are put in small groups, and we are told to discuss. It's not like those days whereby you're given a number and you suffer with it alone. You're there, you think about the number is not coming out, the question becomes hard, but when you have your colleagues, you can ask your colleague, then you contribute, and then you come up with the final answer. Okay, so we are almost winding up so that I can hear from you. I can hear from you what you have to share with me. So that is what we are looking at. So topical assessment, here we are looking at how we can be assessed. Having done the other, that short assignment, how are we assessed? So we shall find that under this curriculum, the smallest or the maximum marks you can get on a given exam or on a given exercise, they can be 10 marks. They can be 10 marks, whereby you're given 3 marks. So we are given in this, that is how we award marks. 3, 3, 3, 1. Whereby 1, we call it for excellence. Excellence is when you write something that is extraordinary, something that is not usual, but in accordance to the question. And then here we call it the relevance mark, 3 marks. Here, even though you write something small, anything you write, you get at least 1 mark. Okay. So later on, we shall have to see how the marks are distributed. But this is the sequence: 3, 3, 3, 1, which gives us 10 marks. And here we give marks according to the tasks which are given in the question. What are you told to do in the question? What are we told to do in the question? For example, if you check on what we have, here we are told that each group has a common property. Here are some headings under which some of the materials can be grouped. So here we had only one task. One task of classifying the materials in our picture. So it was only one. But if at all they were telling us to classify, then also maybe explain their uses. So we'll be having a task of classifying them. Those are a maximum of 10 marks. Then another task of giving their uses. That is also another task, and that one will carry 10 marks. But what is good is that at least after the 10 marks or 9 marks, you cannot fail to get like 4, as long as if you are a serious student. So as many, when we are doing these assignments, for example, what we call unit 1, like what we've done, we can call it unit 1. Then learner A, that can be maybe Peter, maybe he got 4 marks. Then learner B, that could be maybe Mercy, got 6. Maybe we can say Elisha got like 7, and so on. That was assignment 1. Then assignment 2, learner 1 can get maybe 6 marks. This one can get 4. This one can get 9. So what we do, we add up all the units that have been done in that particular term. Then we get the total. After getting the total, that is where we get the summative marks. We sum up, we add all of them. Then at the end of the course, we get the final marks. So what do I mean here? I mean that whenever we are doing such exercises, such assignments, we should take them serious, because at the end of the day, they will affect our final result. So in my conclusion, I say that chemistry is practical. In other words, it is hands-on and it is fun. Some people call it magic. When you get a red color, then you dip it into something like a liquid, then it turns blue. Some people call it fun. So I want now to welcome your questions in 10 minutes. If you have any questions concerning what I've talked about, it is time. Any questions? If you have any questions, please raise up your hand. You can comment on anything that I've talked about. Anything, you can raise up your hand. then we have some questions concerning this. You can use the chat or you can raise up your hand. Yes, Joy. Joy and Shivan.
Where do we classify liquids and gases?
Liquids and gases to depend on the task. It will depend on the
Yes.
task. The classification will depend on the task. Liquids are soft, not so. So we can put liquids in soft things.
How about gases?
Then gases, we can check and see what we have. So gases, we are saying we can put them under nonmetals. A gas is a nonmetal. Then a gas, it is also flexible, so we can put them there.
How about elements?
Elements, these are like metals. These are like metals. So even metals lie under elements. So where you have a metal, you can put it under the element.
Then the compounds.
The compounds you look at, for example, a glass is a compound, plastics are compounds, and so on.
Thank you.
Welcome. Giovanna?
How are we
Giovanna?
going to do the practical?
Sorry?
How are we going to do the practicals?
The practical, so far, like for our case in senior one, the practicals are the simple practicals, the ones which can be done from home. Like for example, if you are looking at materials, normally we look at like bricks. For example, bricks. We can do a practical on how to make bricks. You can be given the procedures, or you can be told to go and look for procedures. Then you make bricks. That is practical. Or how can we melt ice into water? That is also practical. So the other practical that involves maybe preparation of poisonous gases, there we need to be in a standard lab so that we don't get killed by those gases.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Bijirwa is saying is thanking me. Bijirwa, God bless you too. Then Odoch.
Shall we also do these practicals in groups?
Normally practicals, you are given time. You can be given like a day or 2 days or a week. So it is a bit hard to do them online. But if you're able to contact your friends or able to meet with them, then you can as well do them in groups. But if you're not able to do that, then you can do them alone.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Another question? Yes, Kathy?
Do we have a WhatsApp group?
Yes, we have. Drusilla can respond to that. Madam Drusilla? Or Mr.
We
Isaac?
have a WhatsApp group. We have a
Alright,
WhatsApp group. Simply send us your contact and we'll let you into the group. Thank you very much, Catherine.
All right, thank you, Madam Drusilla. Any other question? Any other question as we wind up? So we shall get to learn more about how to use some tools in chemistry here online so that we don't always get confused. We shall take you through a session whereby we can teach you how to use some tools. Like the way we try to use breakout rooms, how can we make them effective? We shall look at that, so don't be worried. Because there was a group where I was, people were quiet. So any other questions? I hope, Madam Brusida. I think we don't have any more questions. I don't know whether you have some communication to make.
Yes, Mr. Mugumya, thank you so much for taking us through that chemistry overview of the new curriculum. I hope the learners now have an idea of what to expect. Thank you very much. Now, dear learners, I want to re-echo to you once again that this is senior1.org. We are your next generation classroom. We are here to bring something different on table. We are not the ordinary e-learning platforms that you know. We are here to give you career guidance. You're here to develop your talent and nurture it, and then above all, support you academically. Simply continue coming through and inform others about this new platform. Now, what I've noticed today is that people are very interested, and that is good, that is encouraging. And I want to leave you a quote that don't wait for the right opportunity, create it. And since that is the basis I'm giving you today, you have to create the opportunity. And for you, you're lucky we've given you the platform. Simply use the platform that has been availed to you. Otherwise, the opportunity will not come when you're just there with folded hands. Any questions? I think that is all. Mr. Dumba, do you have anything to say? Peter Adoch, your hand is up, yes. We have our WhatsApp group. We have.
Madam,
Yes, please.
When are we supposed to do the payments?
Please, we are doing the payments before next week, such that by Monday, we shall start working under a paid program. This week it has been free, but on Monday we are going to start working under a payment. So we are going to pay the number, we are going to pay our money on the number that I'm yet to write here. Okay. You're going to make payments on the number. Let me try and share my screen so that I write for you the number. Can you be able to see the screen? I want to write to you the number. It is 0. So we are going to make payments on our number, which is 0200 0200 907 907 137. That is the number on which the payments are to be made. Are we there? Then we have our website. You can access the website on info. Our website can be accessible on info.
Excuse me, teacher.
Yes, please, at senior 1.
If you don't pay, will you still learn, or it's only for people who have paid?
No, my dear. Payments, learning will be continuous for those that have paid. Thank you very much. Okay. Any other questions? Any other questions? Yes, Shivan. Catherine, so if you have to make payments, please make them as soon as possible, such that on Monday you're going to access all the lessons. We are paying 50,000 until schools resume, okay? Such that you're able to have a free French lesson. By the time you graduate from senior1.org, you must be fluent in speaking of French. That is going to be offered for free for those that shall have paid and registered with us. Then they shall also have free ICT trainings. We need a child that has the 21st century skills. So kindly pay with us. On Monday we start. real lessons as we orient you until schools resume. Catherine, your hand is still up.
Excuse me.
Yes, please.
How much are we paying?
We are paying 50,000
For how long?
for until schools open. So we shall run up until December, but starting on Monday, we are going to pay. So make sure by Monday, Saturday, you have paid
Have you
to
seen the
access the
numbers?
lessons for this. Yes, I have
Have
put
you
the
seen
number.
numbers?
I've seen the number on the screen.
I mean our WhatsApp numbers that you're going to add in the group.
Yes, as long as you registered with us, we have your number on our WhatsApp. We have your number, and I'm sure we are going to give you.
Could you please send us your WhatsApp number, please?
Okay.
The number is on the screen.
Something. What?
The number is on your screen, my dear.
Teacher Drusilla?
Yes, please.
Yes, there are those students who are not on the group. I think they want their numbers or contacts to be added on the WhatsApp group. Maybe they have also sent you their contacts. We are in position to communicate with the host and the co-host. So, Catherine, try to send.
Yes.
Yes, you send your contact to the chat direct to teacher Drusilla so that your contact is added on WhatsApp. In that WhatsApp group, Joy and Shivan, you can also do the same, or else you can contact that number, which is on our screen, 0200907137. You will be added onto that WhatsApp group. Contact that number, then you will be added there. On Monday, we shall, like Teacher Priscilla has told us, shall be having our trainings going on. So make payments and you'll be part of the students who will be having this training. Maybe on our menu, what you need to know on our menu, we shall have biology on Monday. We shall have physics on Tuesday. Wednesday, we shall have geography. Thursday, we shall have history and political education. Then Friday, we are going to have health talk. And these are the things that make our platform unique from other platforms. Health talk, we are not just going to be focusing on academics. For instance, tomorrow, Friday, we have career guidance session. These are the things that we need to know, students. So let's take up this opportunity and we make the payments. We join. You can start making your payments today. Don't wait for Monday, because on Monday we shall be sending links to those individuals who will have paid the money. Those who are asking for how much, Teacher Drusilla, you can also put it on your screen. It is 50,000 shillings up to December. 50,000 shillings up to December. So make that payment. Going back to our teacher of the day, thank you very much, Teacher Mugumya, for that lesson. Students, like the teachers told us, assessment we have two. We have that the school-based, which is activity of integration. Even in your schools, you will be having these activities of integration given to you at the end of each topic. So when they give you this activity of integration, you have to make sure you do it, because at the end, the activity of integration contributes 20% of your final stay in that school. That is for the 4 years. The activity of integration contributes 20%. Then end of O level or end of cycle assessment contributes 80%. So you can see that this activity of integration is very, very important to you. With the new curriculum, we are not looking at how many grades are we getting in our schools, how many aggregates has Peter gotten this time. No, the new curriculum is focusing at seeing what Peter can do. What skill does Peter possess? Can he do something after he has learned or has been equipped with some knowledge in a chemistry lesson? Can you do something? Can you solve a problem? That is what the new curriculum is focusing at. So when they give you an activity, or when the teacher has given you a discussion in the classroom, if you've not understood, you ask. If you're put also in a group, make sure you actively participate. It is through the participation, your discussion with your friends, that you will be in a position to get the knowledge, you will get the skills. We are focusing at producing students or learners with employable skills. We don't want you to leave school or you apply for a job and they ask you, Joy, what can you do in our organization? And you have no answer. If you don't have a skill, they ask you, what can you do? What you will say is anything. If you say, I can do anything, that means you don't have any skill. And that is what we don't want in this new curriculum. The new curriculum is saying a student should have that skill. So members, as we are taking you through these trainings, even when you go back to your schools, your task is to research, your task is to discuss, is to utilize the internet, not for chatting on WhatsApp, but to make some good constructive research and learning. So members, that's what I can tell you. Take our trainings seriously. All the teachers we are bringing on board are experienced and they are passionate. They love what they are doing. They have the knowledge for the subjects. Thank you. That is all I can say for today. And maybe I will wish you a good stay. Teacher Drusilla, the microphone is on your side.
Thank you, Mr. Gual. I think we should close. Mr. Dumba, I don't know if he has anything to add. Then we can stop the meeting. Dear learners, have a good day. Thank you for attending. We meet tomorrow. We have a career guidance lesson tomorrow. Please don't forget to come at 10 a.m. Thank you so much for coming through. We'll meet tomorrow. Yes, please.
Thank you.
You're
Can
welcome.
you send the timetable of lessons in the WhatsApp group?
All right. We're going to do that.